Hey, happy Thursday. So I taught a workshop last night. It went really well. And I know it went well because anytime that there's like a Q&A after a workshop and you end up running out of time, like we did at least an hour-long Q&A and we had to actually end it. And I think there were probably more questions. It was a pretty detailed workshop about e-commerce, but I felt so good about it. I felt anytime I get a chance to teach, as much as I dread it as soon as I say yes, I really enjoy my time working with other people and helping them come up with solutions for their business. Not necessarily saying this is how you need to do it, but more or less asking questions and have you considered this? Have you heard of this? Here's a resource I've used. So things like that, just being a guide for others. And then it just helps me stay on my game. So it helps my business grow, it helps me grow, and I have a really fun time while I'm doing it. But the next day is just mental hangover. So I slept in a little bit this morning, but I'm glad you guys are here. And I do have some things that I wanted to share with you. I was reading some book recently, and this quote popped up. And I was trying to find the right attribution, which can be difficult on the internet. And the best I could come up with is that this is a motto that Sheryl Sandberg really embraces and embodies. And that is, done is better than perfect. So we often don't want to put our work out there until it's ready. And by ready, we really mean until we think it's perfect. And to be honest, we're our own worst critic. So we don't know, the workshop that I did last night, I could have added another 15, 20, 30 slides. We could have gone and talked about Amazon for another 4 hours and not really covered the subject completely. I mean, it's a pretty in-depth subject, being an e-commerce seller. And as much as I kept thinking, what else can I add? What else can I add? Done is better than perfect. At least when it's done, you can put it out in the world, you can get feedback, and you can decide what you want to do with that feedback and make changes however you might want to. And I've thought about this too, because a question that comes up, and I'm sure all of you artists get this question too, how did you know it was done? How did you know you were done painting? And my honest answer is, I'm never done painting. It's never finished. I just stop painting at some point. I look at it and I say, I'm done. And then a month later, I might notice something that I'm like, oh, I wish I had done this. So to me, it's not perfect, but to the audience, to the viewer, to the person, to your student, it at least helped them because you did it. You said, I'm done and I'm putting it out there and I can always make changes later. So done is better than perfect. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't wait until it's perfect because that day never comes. So you just have to get it to a point where you're comfortable enough that you can push through that fear and say, okay, here it is, world. Here's what I've got for you right now. The second thing, and so I didn't even, this is 3 Things Thursday for anyone jumping on who's like, what is this girl talking about? So I'm just sharing 3 things every Thursday, and it just makes me consistent. So I recommend that for any business who's putting out content. Do something weekly that at least makes you get out either in front of the camera or you're putting out a piece of writing, or if you're an artist, aim to put something out every week to show your work at least once a week. It's a nice consistent habit so you can keep that ball rolling. So that's why I do this, and I just like to share stuff that I think is interesting. So the second thing I want to share is a local business. This woman started her business in her early 20s in a time where her product was not all the rage in our small rural community. But she did it anyway, and it has grown and grown and grown, and I love watching her succeed, and I love watching her trying new things, because that's what she's really, that's the thing that impresses me the most, is when somebody is willing to just keep trying new things, keep, fiddling with it and seeing how people react. So her Her business is Lap It Up Kombucha. You can, if you're in the southeastern Ohio region, you can get it in Athens, Columbus, Lancaster, Zanesville. We get it at our local farmers markets. We can just take growlers in and she fills them up so we don't have to deal with more bottles and more recycling. She's amazing, guys. She's really freaking awesome. Her kombucha is delicious. It is absolutely delicious. And some of it is just so pretty that like I have to take pictures of it. She's got one called Butterflies in the Meadow that has it has a hint of mint to it, but it's this beautiful purple color. I'm out of it and I want more of it so bad. So it's Lap It Up Kombucha. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. You can go to her website, Lap It Up Kombucha. She doesn't just make kombucha, she also teaches workshops. So if you're interested in making kombucha at home, which we have done many times in the past, it's super easy. It's really easy to make. We just are in a really busy season, so we're not doing it. And hers is so good that I want hers. I want Lap It Up Kombucha because her flavors are interesting and different. But you definitely want to check her out. She does ship products. She makes kombucha salves. She sells starter kits. So not only is she selling her product, but she's helping others just be healthier with fermented products. So please go check her out. Give her some love because this woman, I keep calling her a girl. This woman is a hustling. And I am very impressed at the work that she does. So please go check her out. And the last thing I want to talk about today is a challenge that my husband and I are doing in our house. So I want to see if you guys want to do it. Whenever we set a savings goal, we like to turn it into a game. There's no winning. Like there's no like this is when we win. But we like to turn it into a game. And it works much better if you have like a tangible thing that you want or that you're working towards. So for example, maybe you want to do a weekend in Vegas this fall. Figure out what it's going to cost roughly, and that's the target. Or maybe you don't want to go to Vegas. Maybe you just want to upgrade some camping equipment so that, you guys camp a lot, and that would be really valuable. So it's got to be something that you really do want. So the challenge is this. When you find yourself ready to spend money, and a good example of this would be an impulse purchase. A good example would be you're driving home, you're a little tired, there's food in the fridge. There's food in the fridge. Your mother's voice pops in and says, there's food at home. But you're like, I'm tired. I worked hard. I'm going to go through a drive-thru. So not only is it not healthy, but you're spending money. We know this. We know, and we all still do it. But let's say that you decide instead, you know what? I really want to go to Vegas. I really want a new tent. I really want this thing. And so the challenge is, instead of going through the drive-thru and dropping $20, you go home and maybe you make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for your family. So what we're doing, we have a big chalkboard wall in our kitchen, and anytime that we don't spend the money and we decide, you know what, we're going to go home and eat, or you know what, no, we don't need that new small appliance because our oven works just fine. Anytime that you were actually going to spend the money and you said, no, I want something else more, I want you to write it down. And I want you to do this for 30 days. This is what we're doing. And then you can tally that all up and see what kind of money you actually would have spent, but instead you chose to save it. Now, a more advanced version, if you're ready to step it up even further, because this creates the physical act of moving money, it really hits us. And as women, it hits us money hits us in the gut, guys. It hits me in the gut, and the women I talk to, it hits them in the gut. So the more advanced version of the challenge is, when you don't spend that money, actually move it. So either go onto your bank account and move it to your savings account, or if you're a cash spender, we do a lot with cash, actually take those dollars, put them in an envelope in your safe or wherever you keep your cash. That physical act of actually moving it, and then you have a visual you can see, where as that account balance grows or as that envelope gets fatter, and you know what your goal is. You know that your goal was to upgrade the camping equipment, or maybe it was, I want to be able to, maybe you want to just save up for Christmas. You want to go on a nice weekend trip. Whatever the thing is, you decide what the thing is. I can't tell you what it is. Whatever it is, that's the carrot that we dangle in front of ourselves. And the goal of the challenge is for you to evaluate where you are going to spend your money mindlessly. Because when we're not aware of where our money's going, it just goes. And too many people say things like, and I know because I said it, I make too much money to be this broke. I make too much money to feel like I don't have anything. And a lot of it is just that we're just not paying attention. It's hard to pay attention. So this challenge, turning it into a game, just helps you build that muscle. That's all it is. It's a new habit. It's going to take time. So let's try and make it fun. I think it's fun. But yeah, I mean, we've got some numbers up on our board, and we're going to see how much money we save. We haven't even set what we want to spend the money on. We're just, I don't know, trying to strengthen that muscle back up again because we got a little bit lazy. So those are my 3 things. Done is better than perfect. Put your work out there. People will tell you if they like it or not. Don't take it personal if they don't. If it's good constructive criticism, take it. Keep working towards better, because there is no perfect. So done is better than perfect. If you're waiting till you're ready, that day doesn't come. So just put something small out there and get some reactions, get some feedback, and then put something else out, and then put something else out. Show your work. We want to see it. Check out Lap It Up Kombucha. Give her some love, even if you don't buy a product. Just go, her posts are beautiful. She is educating people about just the benefits of fermented foods. She's awesome. That should be reason enough, is that she's a badass chick who's building a real business with just grit and sweat and her bare hands. So go check her out. I want you to give her some love, please. And then, will you take the money challenge? Will you turn saving into a game where you either write down that impulse purchase that you were like, nope, not today. Write it down, or if you want to take it a level further, move that money into a different account or put the cash aside and watch it grow. And let me know what you think of that. Does that work for you? Because it works really well for us. So that is what I have for 3 Things Thursday. I think I need another coffee. Probably should drink tea. Probably should drink water. I should probably drink water. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I will catch you next time. Take care, guys. Love you.